Welcome back to the Toffee Booze, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing you Everton news 24/7 for the 2nd of February. So obviously we're getting very close to the deadline day now, just over 24 hours to go. So it's unsurprising where today's headlines are largely focused, and it's obviously going to be on the January transfer window. But we'll start with today's headline. It comes from Mail Sport, and they've reported that we're working on a loan deal to sign Rennes left back Adrien Truffert with an option to buy for the end of the season. Interestingly, there seems to be some conflicting reports on this afternoon, with Joe Thomas of the Echo reporting that we're currently not pursuing him. But regardless, a little bit more about him. He was wanted by Moyes at West Ham, so obviously it's unsurprising that we are in for him. I think Kevin Thelwell has been an admirer for a while. He's a solid fullback in France. He might be wanting a different challenge with Rennes in a relegation fight this season, but we asked you on X regardless, 2,100 votes, 59% were in favour, 38% were unsure, and only 3% were against. So obviously it seems to be pretty mixed bag. I think people are largely in favour of him coming to the football club. Obviously, it would offer very good competition for Vitaly Mykolenko at left back. He has improved quite significantly under David Moyes, Vitaly Mykolenko. I think towards the end of Sean Dyche's tenure, he was really struggling in the squad, but no, he has improved recently in recent weeks. So again, it's just good competition for places. So I'm hoping that this one can get done. I think he is a solid fullback and a solid option. So fingers crossed we can get this sorted and get him over the line. But elsewhere on incomings, and this one is a nailed on incoming. Sky Sports News have reported that Carlos Alcaraz is currently undergoing his Everton medical today, ahead of his move from Flamengo. This will obviously be nice to get a signing over the line, won't it? I think we've been craving all January transfer window for a signing over the line. So hopefully, by the morning we'll find out that he is an Everton player and he'll be holding up the Everton shirt. But again, there's more incomings. Another name which keeps cropping up. This one's reported by Ed Aarons. He's reported our interest in Timothy Weah. This one's cropped up quite a few times over the January transfer window. Obviously, Timothy Weah of Juventus. Obviously, Leipzig and Fulham are also both interested in the player. But Ed Aarons has reported that he's unlikely to leave Juventus this window or even leave Juventus at all. I think he is quite a decent player over in Italy. I think he's quite consistent for Juventus. So again, I'm not sure if he would want to leave there to come to Everton, but it's an interesting rumor that seems to keep cropping up. I think there's definitely interest there from the club. It seems to be a name that Kevin Thelwell is quite fond of. So again, if there's any more that comes with it, I'll let you know. But no, I don't think there's too much in this one. I think it's maybe just rumor mill things towards the end of the window and just seeing to try and drum up interest for a player that's overplaying in Italy. But finally on incomings, and this one's from Alex Crook from Talksport, and he's reported that we could potentially move for Josh Brownhill in the dying embers of this January transfer window. Obviously, Josh Brownhill, the midfielder of Burnley. His contract is actually expiring this summer, and Brentford and Wolves are also both two parties that are interested in the player. I think if Sean Dyche was still the manager, I think this one would definitely have legs. Whether this is a David Moyes signing, I'm not so sure. I think he has been one of Burnley's better players in recent years. I think he's been that mainstay in midfield that I think a lot of Burnley fans will probably be quite keen on. I think he is a decent player. He showed in the Premier League that he can do it. I think he's a little bit more technical than what Burnley have had in the past. But that being said, do I really want a player like that at Everton? I think does it take minutes off the likes of James Garner, Tim Irabunen? I'm not so sure. But again, if it's just a body through the door, I think it would be probably quite a David Moyes signing just to have an extra body through the door. But we asked you your thoughts over on X and have around 2,200 votes. 30% were in favour, 32% were unsure, and 38% were against. So it's a very mixed bag, this one. Whether this one is just sort of rumor mill things trying to drum up interest before his contract ends, I'm not so sure. But again, with deadline day looming now, we've just got to keep an eye on it and see if anything develops of that. But we'll move away from incomings now, and we'll go to outgoings. And Mail Sport have also reported that Fulham are interested in Jack Harrison, who is obviously on loan from Leeds United at Everton this season. This one's an interesting one. Obviously, whether this is for this window or in the summer, I'm not so sure. I think I would be tempted to listen to potentially sending Jack Harrison back to Leeds to loan into Fulham. Obviously, it would free up a loan spot for a player that seems to be falling out of favour under David Moyes. I think he was getting a lot of minutes under Sean Dyche, but since David Moyes has come in, he's not really featured too much. So, if this would free up a loan spot and we could use that elsewhere to try and bolster the squad where David Moyes wants to, I'm all ears. I'd be quite happy to do that. But obviously, there's varying factors. Would Leeds want him back to loan him to Fulham? There's not so sure. But again, this seems like a deadline day one. Whether something kicks off tomorrow on deadline day, I'm not so sure, but we'll keep an eye on it. But finally, Everton Women have confirmed the signing of Norway captain Maren Mjelde, taking the total for the Everton Women to six for the January transfer window. Obviously, 35 years old, she's the Norway captain, so hopefully this will add a little bit of experience to the squad as they look to kick on in the WSL, especially after a good 4-1 win today against Leicester City at Walton Hall Park. So, they're not the first Everton team this weekend to hit four against Leicester City. So, it's great to see both teams doing well on the pitch, and fingers crossed both of them can kick on for the rest of the season. But that is all for today's headlines from me. Let me know your thoughts on the potential incomings, but also potential outgoing of Jack Harrison. What do you think about that report? But that is all from me today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.